his dream sister-in-law, Duchess Kate. Prince Harry had no shame while trashing the royal family in 2021, and his first move of 2022 looks set to carry on with that theme. Hello, and a very warm welcome back to the new version of Kate Middleton and the Queen News Channel. You know, I gotta admit, there's something quaint about a book causing an uproar. A TikTok? A tweet? A nipple-bearing Instagram post? Well, of course, we're used to these things. But a book? With actual pages? How positively 1992. But in the year ahead, with the Queen's Platinum Jubilee year only a corgi hair's breadth away from kicking off, it's actually a book that's shaping up to be one of the biggest dark clouds on the horizon for the monarchy, and one which could prove to be the nail in the coffin of the once close bond between Kate, Duchess of Cambridge, and Prince Harry. It was revealed in July of this year that former Army captain and royal grudge holder Harry, the author of this controversial tome, has landed an estimated $27 million deal to write his memoirs. On the one hand, it shouldn't have come as much of a shock, given that the prince had spent many of the preceding months lobbing PR grenade after grenade over the palace gates, without much regard at all for the impact of his attacks. Now, what we already know is that the Harkles have paid for various magazine covers. They've purchased space for their articles to appear in the media, and they have several magazines that support them in their endeavors. Unfortunately, James Corden, Dax Shepard, Oprah, Gayle King, Omid, and Ellen may have made some money for themselves, but the damage to their reputations far outweighs any monetary rewards. The publicity surrounding the Sussex couple is by and large negative. There really is nothing positive to say about these two self-serving individuals who love nothing more than to create situations to promote themselves. A prime example of what I'm talking about was the Veterans Gala, where they created a red carpet complete with sound and film crew, and took an event and made it all about themselves. That South African tour was the perfect backdrop to discuss Meghan's inability to thrive in the royal family. The trip to New York was a worldwide royal tour complete with film crew and hidden recording devices. So I guess it was only natural that they should go to an impoverished Harlem school to show their compassionate side by bringing expired vegetables and promoting the bench. The Kardashians paid millions to be kept in the media to the point that readers became fed up with them. CNN had nothing to talk about after Trump left office, and they've sunk to the bottom of the barrel with sex scandals surfacing. I think with all that's gone on in 2021, people's priorities have shifted, and they no longer care to hear about entitled celebrities crying about petty things or listening to them preach to us about how we should live our lives. The Sussexes love to tell us all about kindness, climate change, humanitarian endeavors, but they live in the opposite lane, and they're no longer of interest. It creates a situation where nothing they say or do is credible. I'm sure it's just a matter of time before the media stories dry right up. In these times, no one really wants to read or listen to the hateful comments directed at others. On the other hand, never before has such a senior member of the royal family turned against the family, and with such a seeming lack of remorse. Still, shocking or not, what seems all but guaranteed here is that whenever Harry's book comes out, it will rock the palace to its very 18th century core. Secure the corgis and get Princess Anne ready for DEFCON 5 because it is coming. The prospect of what Harry might reveal to the world is mind-boggling, and it likely warms the heart of every die-hard Republican. But one of the biggest casualties of this brewing PR storm could be what remains of his relationship with Kate. For so many years, those two enjoyed a loving and close relationship, so it's really sad to think about what might happen. So back in 2010, when Prince William became engaged to Kate Middleton, Harry said in a statement, "It means I get a sister, which I have always wanted." And then during the wedding that following year, it was Harry's speech that made Kate shed a tear, according to biographer Katie Nicholl, delivering an affectionate, warm, and funny toast to the happy couple that saw him tell the audience that his brother and new sister-in-law's relationship was really an inspiration to him. Nicholl has also told us about how Kate used to set Harry up on blind dates after he broke up with his girlfriend Cressida Bonas. You can search online and find a delightful cavalcade of photos of Kate and Harry giggling and laughing together during official outings and family moments. In 2016, Kate, William, and Harry launched Heads Together, their pioneering mental health initiative. When they announced the project, the three of them stood together in the palace garden for the press. Their arms were around one another, and they were larking about the palace while cameras snapped away. Sadly, that closeness that they once enjoyed is gone, disappearing nearly overnight. Recently, when the Sussexes and the Cambridges found themselves face-to-face at Westminster Abbey, Kate didn't even acknowledge Harry, a move which would have been unthinkable not long ago. Since Meghan and Harry left for the U.S., Kate has carried on as always, her smiling seemingly fixed in a perfect place. But away from the cameras, the Duchess of Cambridge has been really upset about it all, a royal insider told People this week. Everything with Harry and Meghan has been hugely stressful, but if anything, it's pulled her and William closer together. Another friend has said she was upset about it because William was so upset. Seeing her husband so distraught was tough. It would seem that unending wifely loyalty is a Windsor trait. Earlier this year, a source spoke to The Telegraph about Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, saying, "I don't think she will ever forgive Meghan for what she's done to the Prince of Wales." During the Sussexes' Oprah interview in March, Harry didn't shy away from answering questions about his brother, saying, "We've been through hell together. We have a shared experience, but we were on different paths." When Harry was speaking to a global TV audience of 60 million people who tuned in to watch his tell-all, he said that "my father and my brother, they are trapped. They don't get to leave. And I have huge compassion for that." This is exactly why we don't really need a crystal ball in order to see that Harry and William's relationship will feature significantly in the younger prince's upcoming autobiography. And if Harry does take this chance to air some dirty laundry about his brother, whatever is left of his once solid bond with Kate could likely end as collateral damage. Duchess Catherine is intensely loyal, and if the Duke of Sussex comes out swinging and takes aim at William, there's no doubt on which side she will land. Whatever wedge currently exists between Harry and Kate could also be widened even further by the release of Season 5 of The Crown in 2022. This coming season of the popular show will cover the 90s and the breakdown of the Wales' marriage, thus bringing up and reviving one of the most damaging periods for the royal family in the last century. While establishment insiders like Eton College, where William and Harry both studied, have refused to work with the streaming giants, obviously not so Harry and Meghan, who are now firmly on the multi-billion-dollar behemoth's payroll. In November, we learned that the royal family had been told they could sue over the award-winning royal soap opera. Though the chances of them doing this are very small, if non-existent, there is every chance that 2022's season of The Crown will be met with much more forceful and vocal pushback by the palace against Netflix. The Telegraph has reported that William is already frustrated over the BBC's cooperation with the show's producers, suggesting that we could see him take a much more forceful and assertive position. Thus, the stage is looking increasingly set for an all-new, just as messy transatlantic face-off between William and Harry, a clash that would only further push Harry and Kate apart. So much for goodwill and glad tidings this holiday season. I do have one final thought to share. During this Christmas and New Year, when your family is bickering with each other and your extended relatives are slowly driving you crazy, just keep this in mind. It could be a lot worse. You could be a Windsor. And you, what do you think about this news? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments and we'll talk about them. Don't forget to like and share my video with anyone who loves it now if you feel you prefer it today. And don't forget to click subscribe button to not miss any new videos from Kate Middleton and the Queen New Version team. Again, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow.